preserved my youth. Not only did it capture my goals, it told me the truth.
Conversate for a few, cause in a few.
I let them know we missing you. The love is unconditional.
Wave your hands once a land and we family.
We got a world premiere right here, now get lost.
So off we go, let the trumpets blow. And hold on, because the driver of the mission is a pro.
What's up, everybody? You are now in tune to another episode of Conversate With Us. Remember, Conversate stands for communicate, converse, and relate. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Conversate With Us, and go to our YouTube channel, click that bell icon so you can be notified of upcoming episodes. Make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you tell everybody about the show. So June is Black Music History Month, and we can't let the month go away without bringing in a music expert straight out of NYC, Mr. Ernie Jackson. I'm calling future Dr. Ernie Jackson. Ernie, come on in, man.
Hey, y'all. Here I is.
We got him. How you doing, man?
I'm doing quite all right. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you are a professor at Queensboro Community College in NYC, correct?
That's correct.
So is that in Queens, I'm assuming?
It's in Bayside, New York, depending on how much your property taxes cost. So it's either Bayside or it's Oakland Gardens. Okay, so there you go.
Okay, so are you considered a New Yorker? I guess that's the question, because I saw something online. They're like, if you're not from these, like if you're from Long Island, you're not really a New Yorker.
I am born and bred. I'm born in Manhattan, raised in Brooklyn, transplanted to Staten Island. So New York through and through. What
part of Brooklyn?
Oh boy, here we go. Williamsburg, when it was not cool and expensive.
Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. I got people from Brooklyn. They from Flatbush, so Flatbush, and then where my other people from? I forget where they're from, but Flatbush in the house.
So I bet they miss Lord's Bakery just as much as I do. We can talk to you.
I'll make sure I ask them, man. So listen, June, Black Music History Month. I'm really big into music, and I know obviously you are, because you're a professor, right? You teach music, you teach production. And, with June being Black Music History Month, I just want to talk about the impact of music and how it's changed and have a discussion about that. So, in the U.S., a lot of our culture as Black Americans comes from our music. It started, with jazz. You had rock, hip hop, disco, all the different genres. You as an expert, somebody who teaches music, how has music impacted the culture of Black America over the years, and where does it stand now today, in your opinion?
We start everything, and we never get credit for starting it.
Right.
And I mean everything.
Yeah.
I watched the documentary, the Ken Burns thing on jazz a while ago. It was very thorough, it was interesting, but in the very beginning, they talk about a white gentleman who proclaims he invented jazz. And if you watch it, it's kind of interesting. But something came up, I think like in the past week, where it said, like literally we started all the styles you just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Who started it? That's what it was. I was in a class this week, and they were talking about Big Mama Thornton, okay? And how, she did Hound Dog, but apparently Elvis made it correct. It's like, have you seen Big Mama Thornton? Have you seen Buddy Guy playing guitar for her? Yeah, so Big Mama Thornton starts off, sings Hound Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Has Buddy Guy playing guitar, killing it.
Yeah.
Is so well received overseas. But who do Americans love? They love Elvis. Why?
They white.
White.
Yeah.
It's what we do. All this, what I was saying before, all the styles that you mentioned, You said jazz, blues, rock, whatever. We start.
And you know what's crazy? People got on me because I call myself a music aficionado, right? And we talked about disco about a week and a half ago. And I was like, you know what? It would be hard for us to put together a compilation of music of just disco. And boy, did I learn that I was wrong. The contribution of Black Americans to the disco genre. And I saw you roll your eyes to it, right? Because, you know, it may not be one of your favorite genres. But when I saw about our contributions to that, see, to me, when you look at disco, because I was uneducated about it, my mind goes straight to the Bee Gees, right? And
Why?
just because, you know, growing up in the Midwest, and
Okay.
I was born in 77, right? So I didn't really have a lot of exposure to disco. So the amount of exposure that I did have to disco came from TV. So what were they putting on TV? It was mainly the Bee Gees. They were the face of disco. And boy, was I glad that I was wrong because I got exposed to so much good music that was done by brothers and sisters throughout the years. So to, you know, drive home your point, it's always been that people have always tried to capitalize on our culture, but then on the back end try to say we don't have any culture as Black Americans.
It's horrible. You know, I was watching some movie and somebody was doing a cover of MacArthur Park. The Donna Summers thing, you know. And I just remember there was only two women for me, music. Like Donna and Whitney were my two, Donna Summer. And when I think about disco, because 77, 76, 70, I was 11.
Mhm.
And it's New York and everybody's dancing. Okay, everybody's dancing. Um, Van McCoy, okay, invented the hustle. Okay, got this brother. And so, disco was king, which is why they tried to kill disco in that damn baseball field. The disco sucks record burning thing. It's because it was us. It wasn't because the music was bad. It was because it was us.
Yeah.
You see? But what happened out of that? What did we get out of that? We got house music.
So let me
Okay.
ask you. I'm sure because you said, you know, born in Manhattan, raised in Brooklyn, time in Staten Island. There's a debate. Did house music start in New York or did it start in
Started in New York, man. That's it.
Chicago? Why? So why they always say that is in Chicago? Was it Frankie Knuckles went to Chicago?
Because Frankie went to Chicago. Where did he start? He started with Larry here.
Yeah.
He may have exploded in Chicago. Do you know I teach a class on the history of house music? It drives me
I know
nuts.
that. I did not know that.
Yeah, my department chair said, "Okay, you want to teach a music history class?" I said, "Sure." Well, you can teach whatever you want. I said, "Bet." So in musicology, which is what I study, the history of something in music, that's musicology. If something is 50 years or older, it becomes a topic. So when I got the opportunity to do a music history class, I said, "Can I do it on house music, the history of house music?" And he said, "Sure." And we're talking 1975. You know, so so they tried to get rid of disco. They burned all those records in that baseball field, not knowing that house music was already going strong. So you go from disco to house, and even to this day, you cannot deny house music. You can't.
Yeah. So let's go to a lot of this comes from how they commercialize our music, right? How they can make money off of it. The different record labels. You look at how they would take some of our music and Pat Boone, right? What was it, the boy group that they made to try to compete with the Jacksons? I forget their name.
The Osmonds.
the Osmonds. So, the Osmonds, they try to say, okay, what could be more commercially successful? And these labels, they control our music. So a lot of the stuff that comes out from our culture is part of our culture, but then it becomes something commercial from them. And with that comes a bit of gatekeeping, so that even somebody that's on the corner that can flow from hip hop, or that's in a small lounge that can play that jazz or do all those different things, they may be somebody who can really, really express music in a way that pushes the art form forward. But if the record label doesn't sign on to it, we'll never hear it. And what comes with that is gatekeeping, right? And with the advent of technology and streaming, YouTube, all the different streaming platforms, that gatekeeping has went away. But do you think it has watered down the music that we hear today?
The gatekeeping part, people, it's so much, Marvin. It's so much. Uh, you know, there's a movie you can't even find anymore. It's called American Hot Wax. Have you ever heard of it?
Never heard of it.
You can't even find it. You know who's in it? You know who's in it? Is Jay Leno's in it. Very young Jay Leno.
Okay.
It's about Alan Freed. Do you know that name?
I've heard the name, but go ahead and educate us.
No, so Alan Freed was probably the worst. He was a DJ, he promoted rock and roll, and yes, he was down with the black artists, but he put his name on every record that they sold. Didn't write a lick. Didn't write a lick. Okay? He's credited with the term rock and roll. Okay. So that's one thing. Using our talents to benefit them. And I watched this movie, and this is like in the 70s. I remember watching this movie all the time because it had music in it.
Mm-hmm.
But fast forward, you can't have anything nice. You can't have anything nice. But what the internet is showing you is that people are talented. Okay? Why do we see more people of, let's just say non-black, non-people of color do our music? Is because a lot of it is their resistance to their culture. A lot of it is. Okay? Again, look at house music. I'm going to go back to house music. What came out of house music? I'm putting you on a quiz. What came out of house music?
What came out of house music? I don't know.
EDM.
See, I don't listen to EDM. That's not my thing.
But you see what happened? House music is smooth. It's a two-step. That's it.
Yep.
But EDM is like, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's Europe. Somebody left the States, went to Europe, and did a thing. Had a different sauce to it. So now you have EDM. My house music DJs here don't spin that stuff. They don't spin it. I cannot find one house music station on Sirius XFM.
You know what?
You know what?
Yeah, I'm a subscriber to that channel. And now that I think about it, there is no house music channel.
You get 2 hours of Crystal Waters on something on Utopia talking about women of dance music.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And then you get like the legends of Studio 54. So what does that say? So you got to go to YouTube, like you mentioned, YouTube, and find people spinning classic, garage,